What does it mean to be optimized for Xbox Series X and S? I purchased an Xbox Series S, and I see games in Game Pass that say optimized for Xbox Series X and S. They have that badge on their, cover art. So you're going to get a game that's optimized. The last few games that I've downloaded in Game Pass, this is Sable. I also played Origami 2. Now, both of these games have the optimized badge on them on the dashboard. And both of them are really, really in bad shape. So I've been a little disappointed as to what it actually means to be optimized. Who's actually in charge of this? Because if games like Sable can come out and Origami 2, and I'll talk about Sable first, there are a ton of bugs in this game. The frame rate is really bad. So my question would be, how is it optimized? Does the optimized badge mean anything, or are they just throwing it on games because they're in the service? Are they saying, hey, give us your game, put it in the service, here's some money, and by the way, we'll put this optimized badge on it, and that may drive more people to play the game. Now, I'm not saying they're doing that, but I'm trying to figure out what could be the reason behind games launching and being incredibly bad technically while still having the optimized badge attached to them. The next game that I tried was Origami 2, and this is technically one of the worst games that I've played that have the optimized for Xbox Series X and S attached to it. Every single time you move the right stick to move the camera, the screen tears all over the place. It's some of the worst screen tearing in a game that I've ever seen. And again, the game launched into Game Pass and it had the optimized badge attached to it. So who optimized it? What does it mean to be optimized for Xbox Series X and S if games can launch broken and still have that badge attached to it? So to be fair, there are plenty of games that have that badge attached to them that play wonderfully. So this is why it's really strange. If some things are optimized and some things aren't optimized, and yet all of them have that badge, then clearly the optimized badge means nothing to whoever's in charge of putting it on games in Game Pass. Because you can't launch games in a broken state and call them optimized. There's no reason. It actually disappoints me as a user, as a consumer, because I purchased the Series S, I see optimized for the system, and if it doesn't mean anything, or worse, if I'm getting some games that are optimized and some games that aren't optimized, and I don't know which is which because everything has that badge on it, what am I supposed to expect? Another thing that's really strange is that I'm sure Forza Horizon 5 and Halo Infinite are going to be in a really good state graphically when it comes to taking advantage of the Series X and S. They're going to make sure of that. But these really smaller titles, and there's a lot of these games launching into Game Pass lately. These games that look like I would have no problem running them on my iPhone 12 Pro Max seem to have a problem on the Xbox Series S and X. These are games that the Xbox Series X and X should have no problem running. And not only do they have a problem, but they're getting that tag, like I'm saying, as being optimized. So it is strange. The level of expectation is all over the place when it comes to games with these tags on it dropping into Game Pass. So I guess the big question is, what does it mean to be enhanced or optimized for the Xbox Series X and S? And if that tag is going to be put on everything, even though it isn't optimized and no one's looked at it clearly, because some games perform well and other games are just clearly broken and shouldn't have that tag, then what can you as a consumer, or even myself, right? Because I make these videos mostly for myself. And most people do. You're talking about things that you enjoy or things that you don't enjoy or questions that you have. And hopefully other people relate to that. So that's what this is about. But what can you expect if games are in that service and broken? I don't know what to expect. And I suppose the argument could be, well, these are small studios, these are small games, so they didn't have time to optimize and patches will come out. And that's fine. But my argument is, why then instantly give a patch that says optimized for Xbox Series X and S to these games? Is no one at Microsoft playing these games? or checking them out before they drop them into Game Pass, because clearly in the case of Sable, which is what you're seeing here, and Aragami 2, which is completely full of screen tearing, nobody could have played those games. And if they did, and they just said, yep, give it the tag of optimized, why not? Then it doesn't mean much to Microsoft or Xbox. So why should it mean anything to me? That's my question. So let me know what you think about this. And I'm sure, like I said, I've played games that have that optimized patch and they run really well, much better than they would on last generation systems. And you feel good about purchasing a new system and getting that extra grunt out of it. But again, there are games that perform well, and lately there have been a lot of games, smaller games that you wouldn't expect to perform like this, performing really bad while still having the optimized badge attached to them. What does it mean? Who's in charge? Who's checking this stuff out? Does anybody care? And if they don't, why should I? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Think about subscribing to the channel. Think about sharing this video out on your favorite social media platform of choice. At the very least, hit the like button. It would help me grow the channel. Optimized for Xbox Series X and S. What does it mean? Does it mean anything? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.